The story opens on a dark and stormy night. Rain lashes against the windows of a remote, run-down trailer home. Inside lives Patrick, a solitary man in his late middle age. From the very beginning, something about him feels uneasy. He seems paranoid, constantly checking the roof, as if expecting something or someone. Patrick lives alone in this desolate trailer park, and from his behavior, it's clear he's not used to visitors. He appears disturbed, perhaps even mentally unstable. He looks toward the ceiling, clutching a small vial that could contain medicine or something far more dangerous, like poison. Suddenly, there's a loud knock on the door. Alarmed, Patrick yells out, telling whoever it is to leave, but the knocking doesn't stop. Then, a woman's voice is heard, soft, trembling, asking for help. Patrick hesitates, but eventually opens the door. Standing in the rain is a young woman named the Visitor. Her real name is never revealed in the film, but for clarity, we'll refer to her as Angela. She's soaked from head to toe, shivering from the cold. Her appearance startles Patrick. People rarely come around here, especially in this kind of weather. Angela says she needs help. She only wants shelter for a short while and hopes to get a lift to the city. Patrick says his car is broken and that there's no bus service nearby, especially in this storm. After thinking for a moment, he lets her in. He brings her a towel and apologizes for not opening the door sooner, blaming local kids who often knock on his door as a prank. Angela sits cautiously, still unsure if Patrick is someone she can trust. When he asks for her wet shirt to dry it, she becomes visibly uncomfortable. She's a lone woman in a stranger's home, and her caution is understandable. Patrick tries to make small talk. Angela explains that she had gone swimming at a beach nearby, but fell asleep and didn't realize how late it had gotten. As the weather worsened, she ended up running here. Patrick seems unconvinced. Why would anyone go swimming in such cold weather? And at a beach far from here? He brings her a drink, but Angela wisely refuses to consume anything in an unfamiliar place. The tension between them simmers under the surface. Every word feels layered with suspicion. Patrick asks if she's from around here. She says no and then asks to use a phone. Patrick says he doesn't have one but mentions a nearby phone booth. She insists she can go alone if he just gives directions. But Patrick says the park closes after midnight, and the people around here are suspicious of outsiders. Angela finds his words strange, but chooses to stay a little longer due to the worsening storm. She begins to observe the trailer more closely, and something feels off. As Angela quietly looks around the trailer, she begins noticing strange things. Among Patrick's belongings, she sees some women's items, like a wristwatch and a locket with strands of hair inside. These details unsettle her. Why would a man who claims to live alone keep such things? She doesn't ask about them, but her growing suspicion is clear. Trying to distract her, or perhaps to keep her calm, Patrick begins talking about his past. He tells her he used to be an electrician, but lost his job after a serious mistake. One day, he accidentally connected the wrong wires. It was a dangerous experience, but instead of regret, he says it made him feel alive, like he had come face to face with death and truly felt something for the first time. Angela listens silently, growing more uncomfortable. Then Patrick suddenly asks if they've met before. Her face seems familiar. Angela says she doesn't think so, but the question lingers. Patrick suggests she take a hot shower to warm up. He says her body is turning pale and she could get sick. Reluctantly, Angela agrees, but she still seems uneasy, especially since Patrick keeps avoiding her requests to leave or use a phone. In the bathroom, Angela turns on the hot water. For a moment, she begins to relax, until she sees blood dripping into the bathtub. She panics, checking herself to see if she's bleeding, but when she looks again, the blood is gone. It was just in her mind. This moment shows that Angela might also be losing her grip on reality, or perhaps being slowly poisoned. Outside, Patrick is making soup for her and offers her a sweater, saying it belonged to his ex-girlfriend. Angela puts it on hesitantly. She begins talking about how loneliness affects people. She says sometimes people who live in cheap places aren't just broke. They're running from something. But no matter how far they run, their pain always catches up. Patrick seems confused by her words, but listens. Then he serves her the soup, but Angela doesn't drink it. She says it's too hot. While Patrick washes the soup bowl, we see, through his point of view, that blood is dripping from it. Again, just like Angela, he's hallucinating. Angela then questions him, pointing out something strange. You said the trailer park gate closes at midnight. So, how did I get in? Patrick freezes, admitting he was about to ask her the same question. Before either can explain, there's a loud knock at the door. Patrick panics. He rushes to check but finds no one. He hears strange noises outside. He suspects Angela may have told someone about his location, but she denies it. Angela then hears keys jangling. The door is locked. She realizes Patrick locked her inside. Fear creeps in. To avoid suspicion, Angela secretly pours the soup into Patrick's shoes. Meanwhile, Patrick prepares himself another drink. Once again, he holds that small glass vial in his hand. Whatever is in it, it's playing with both their minds. As the tension rises, the lights suddenly go out. The room is now dark, silent, and filled with paranoia. Angela asks how far the phone booth is. Patrick replies that now it doesn't matter. The entire area has lost power. There's no way to call anyone. Then, he makes a passive-aggressive comment about how his shoes are full of soup, subtly confirming he knows Angela poured it there. Still, he tells her gently, "You don't need to be afraid of me. You can leave if you want." His calm tone makes Angela feel guilty for doubting him. She apologizes, realizing that despite her fears, Patrick has been offering her shelter all along. Patrick leaves to check the fuse box. Angela decides to follow him. In the dim light, she notices a hammer with what looks like blood on it. But when she blinks, it's gone. Another hallucination. Then she sees something that chills her, a wound on Patrick's back. He brushes it off and heads to the bathroom for medicine. Alone, Angela searches the bathroom. In a small box, she finds several earrings, too many for one person. Shockingly, one of them is hers. Fear tightens around her. She rushes out and confronts Patrick. "Why do you have my earring?" He's confused and says she must be mistaken. But she's convinced this is no accident. Angela demands he unlock the door. Patrick becomes defensive and angry. He says, "You people are all the same. You come into someone's life, and the moment they show you kindness, you start suspecting them." He claims he did nothing wrong. He gave her food, shelter, and safety. But now she's accusing him. Angela shouts at him to let her out. In response, Patrick quietly sits and says, "The door's not locked. You can leave." Nervously, Angela checks the door, and he's telling the truth. It's open. The realization makes her feel even worse. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe it's all been in her head. But outside, the storm is raging harder than ever. She decides to stay. Quietly, she closes the door and sits beside Patrick. He offers her a drink again, noting that she hasn't even touched the first one. She laughs nervously and finally relaxes a bit. They begin to play cards. The mood softens, and Patrick opens up. He admits he lied earlier. He was married once. The sweater she's wearing belonged to his wife. He says he met her at a gas station one rainy day. She had been crying, wet from the rain, and he brought her chips and soda. It was a beautiful memory, he says. Angela asks how she died. Patrick pauses, then quietly says, overdose. After the emotional confession, Patrick says meeting Angela reminded him of that long-lost night. He thanks her for staying and for talking with him. He says he doesn't know who she really is or where she came from, but it's been nice having someone to talk to after so long. Angela raises her glass and says, "Cheers," but as she takes a sip, something catches her eye. A lipstick mark on the glass. A mark that wasn't hers. Her heart sinks. That drink had been used before. Whose was it? Before she can react, lightning flashes outside. Patrick hears a scream. He rushes out, claiming he saw someone. Angela, left alone, hears a faint vibration. She follows the sound and finds a phone. Patrick had told her he didn't own one. As she lifts a curtain, her breath catches. Outside the trailer lies a dead body, a woman's corpse, right next to an empty bag of chips, the same snack Patrick said he once gave his wife. Suddenly, everything he told her feels like a carefully crafted lie. Terrified, Angela hides in the bathroom as Patrick returns. She tries to escape through the small window, but sees the same blood-stained hammer again. Panicking, she grabs it, but finds the front door locked now. And this time, Patrick is no longer pretending. He attacks her, taping her hands and feet, and forces her to drink something. Angela struggles, screams, but the storm outside drowns out her cries. No one is coming. Patrick drags her to the bed and places her beside the corpse. He talks to the dead body calmly, as if it's still alive. "She came to me, just like you," he says. "I didn't force her. She knocked on my door." Angela somehow frees herself and asks, trembling, "What did you make me drink?" Patrick tells her it's poison. He gave her 8 milliliters, enough to shut down her organs. As she weakly tries to fight back, he reflects on his first victim, a girl with a heartbeat tattoo. He was scared back then, afraid police would catch him, but nothing happened. Over time, the fear faded. He convinced himself there is no such thing as good or evil, no God, just emptiness. Angela, dying, gasps for air, but Patrick shows no pity. He places her beside the others and smothers her with a cloth. As her breath fades, the radio plays a familiar song, the same one from his first kill. He lifts Angela's shirt and sees the heartbeat tattoo. Just when Patrick thinks Angela is dead, something begins to change. The room grows eerily silent, but his mind is not. He starts seeing multiple women standing in the dark, their faces covered, their presence ghostly and still. These are not just visions, they are the faces of his past, of every woman he might have killed. The trailer, once dim and quiet, now feels crowded with the weight of his crimes. Patrick stares in horror, unable to move as these silent figures close in. Their existence, whether real or imagined, reflects his buried guilt and unraveling sanity. This moment deepens the theory that Angela may not have been real at all. Maybe she was a manifestation of his first victim. Or worse, maybe she was real, and Patrick, in his deteriorating mental state, is now haunted by the ghosts of many women he murdered, each one returning to make him face what he's done. The emotional and psychological breakdown becomes the film's most powerful moment. The audience is left to wonder, was it a supernatural reckoning? A guilt-driven hallucination? Or the consequences of a man who crossed the line so many times, even reality turned against him? This haunting parade of corpses and Angela's impossible return suggests that Patrick was not just a one-time killer. He may have been doing this for a long time, over and over again, choosing lonely women who wouldn't be missed. But now, that hidden history has come back to destroy him. After Angela forces the poison down Patrick's throat, something strange happens. The hallucinations vanish, the screams stop, and the storm that raged throughout the film is gone. Outside the trailer, the night is quiet, still, peaceful. There's no thunder, no rain, no wind. Just a silence that feels unnatural after everything we've witnessed. Then, a knock at the door. The same knock from the start. It's the neighborhood kids, once again playing a prank. But this time, Patrick doesn't answer.